Very well workshopped again. I think we'll be taking this as read, but of course Neil is here if there's any further questions. Anybody, but this is a local government initiative where councils will be getting together and doing their borrowing, etc., as a bulk lot, which will reduce debt percentages, etc.
Okay. I'll just explain that. What we're just handing out in the paper, we put a draft form of the statement of proposal in there. What you now have is a final form of that. We just filled in a couple of gaps, so the content in it is the same as what was in your council paper, but we've just filled in a couple of blanks there. And what we've also handed out on the separate bit of paper there is a suggested resolution. It's actually a bit of a technical resolution, this one, to do with it. Anne, did you want to say anything further on that around the transitional provisions or?
Yes, I'm not actually sure that my speaker's working, but I'll try my best. When we workshopped this, what we were intending was that we would simply be undertaking the special consultative procedure for establishing or becoming a shareholder in a council-controlled trading organisation. It does require some amendments to both our liability and our treasury management policy, and there is actually a change in legislation which both our investment and liability policy, and if we do it in 12 months' time, we won't have to do that step. But it's just a little technical thing that we have to go through. So just be aware that you're doing an amendment when you look at this paper.
And this is to enable us to become the establishment shareholder from day one, to be part of the team that makes this thing happen.
The underlying principles of this is to make sure that our borrowings are at the most prudent level possible. This vehicle going forward, doing modelling, as I read on page 1, in our current situation, we could be saving approximately $600,000 a year in interest payments.
Based on the modelling that was done as of December 2010 by Cameron Partners in Asia Pacific Risk Management, they suggest that based on that modelling and our level of debt, that those interest savings could be possible, yes.
Well, I think it makes sense to most of us. We did workshop this quite thoroughly. There's the old-fashioned saying there's strength in numbers, and I think local governments around New Zealand will have a far greater control over their not level indebtedness, but the price they pay for their indebtedness by having a collective voice and being collectively joined together, so to speak. So is there anything further for Councillor Dano?
I was just going to move it.
It's a big movement. Yep. It's here somewhere. So this is a suggested resolution here, and I'm not going to read it out. Have you all got it?
Yeah.
Even turns the page.
Yep.